How you guys doing today? So today is going to be a very serious topic. I'm not going to go into reviews or anything like that. This is going to be on the point, and it's going to be on a specific topic. Today's topic is 9/11 and the conspiracies that have been following 9/11. I first want to say about conspiracies. Most people, when they hear conspiracy, they automatically just take it and throw it out of their mind because they're thinking, oh, some jacko, sat around and thought about this crap and just decided he didn't like the government, so he was going to come up some way that the government was at fault or somebody was at fault for something that happened. The problem that I have with conspiracies are that people don't look into them. People, if you don't have an opinion about something, then you can't stand back and criticize it. Now, I'm not down talking anybody because it's something that we've been looked at. You had George W. Bush who sat there and said, these conspiracies are considered treason, considered being anti-patriotic. I find that to be a very, very, very stupid statement. Along with other stupid statements he's made, that's probably one of the top ones in my opinion. The reason I say that is because it's like that old saying, let's say this, if you don't believe in something, you'll fall for anything. To believe in something and to have an actual opinion about something means that you have to take the time to look at the facts and make your assumption. And it is an assumption because they're not going to come out and give us, oh, well, you were right, here it is. They're not going to do that, but it does allow you the ability to make your own decisions. America has become this poster child for everybody being, allowed to do this, allowed to do that. What's wrong with being allowed to use your common sense and your God-given ability to figure things out? Saying that, I say this. The government has been lying to us for more years than we know about. There's still stuff that we don't know about that they've been doing that they said they haven't. And that's why a lot of stuff has come out, is because they've been persistently nagged about. They let out little things like black boxes from the recorders, but they don't give us the actual audio. They give us typings of the audio, so you can't hear expressions. So for me, that's dumb. Why would you do that? Why wouldn't you just give us the video or the sound behind? It might be hard to listen to. It might not be something that everybody wants to listen to, but it would still be, for some people, it would be a foothold, something that they could go, okay, well, at least they're giving us that. Pentagon gets hit, okay? There's nothing. They release a video that shows something and then the explosion. There's no definition. And to say that they can't slow it down or give us those missing, sequences in the pictures, I don't take that. I think that's crap. There's enough video cameras and surveillance cameras around that area that there had to be 5-6 different angles on it. So this is what you have to understand. The government is not going to outwardly give us all the information. Okay? They're not going to give us the tapes from the Pentagon. They're not going to give us the explanations of why we can't hear the actual black box recordings. They're not going to give us any information of why there was no debris when the plane crashed in wherever, Shankville, or whatever the name of the place was. They're not going to give us all that stuff because it's damning. This situation with 9/11 is nobody's paying for it. Nobody. Okay, so we say Osama bin Laden. That brings me to my next point. Osama bin Laden was an informant. Believe it or not, do the research. He was an informant during the 80s. There is so much stuff that when you start looking into one avenue, it leads to 20 different avenues. It's like a side street that turns into a freaking maze. There's so much stuff that people don't even realize, or they're not doing the research, or they're not finding out. And I have not found all this stuff myself. A lot of this is, okay, well, I heard it somewhere. I'm going to look it up. I'm going to do the research myself. So I did that. And look at this. In 1941, December 7th, 1941, the second or the first, it depends on which source you go to, but in most cases it's considered the first most traumatic loss of death by a foreign terrorist act or foreign militant group was brought to this country, Pearl Harbor. Pearl Harbor had 2,355 deaths. Now, I say that to say this. They started their planning for Pearl Harbor in January 1941. They did not execute until December 1941. Almost a full year to put together one of the most catastrophic disasters and attacks on U.S. soil. Now, we're not talking about jihadist, Al-Qaeda members. We're talking about a military. Probably about 25 guys put together one of the most brutal plots on the U.S. Flew a plane when they're actually the person who did all the flight school here in Florida, the guy who actually did the flight school and trained the guys that supposedly flew the damn plane, said that none of them could fly a plane of that size. They could barely take the test pilot up and not scare the shit out of him. If I was in military and I pulled Pearl Harbor, what makes me think that a whole bunch of douchebags out in Afghanistan could do any better? There's so much stuff that's missing in this whole topic. There's evidence missing. You have all these videos of these buildings falling at free fall speed. The free fall speed means there is none, zero resistance. Zero. That means it will fall at the same speed as gravity pulls it to the earth. This happened not once, not twice, but 3 times. Building 7. Nobody hardly knows about it. I don't know why. It fell due to a fire. It didn't even get hit by a plane, nothing. No debris, nothing. But it fell. Just so happens there was damning evidence once again about an investigation into some secret smuggling of money and where some money was going. I believe it was the CIA was using money for stuff that they weren't supposed to be, and they went in and had a audit where they were having to claim and show where they had spent the money. I'd rather just demolish the building and destroy all the records than take claim for what I did. And that's pretty much what they did. So you think about it. And you step back and you go, okay, so we have damning evidence that might show that they've been using money illegally or in an improper way without the consent of the U.S. government or consent of the Senate or consent of the U.S. citizens. Then you have a gentleman who's going, well, I don't want you blowing up my damn buildings. What do I get out of it? Well, we'll claim it's a terrorist attack and you can walk away with the entire insurance money that was taken out. The entire insurance policy that was taken out, you can take all the money off it. Seems like a good investment to me. People, I mean, it's sad. It is really sad. There's stuff that I'm not even talking about that went on that it's just like when you add it up, there's just a damnable bout of evidence that if it was ever to come to light, and if there was ever enough backing of people, it's kind of like the Freedom of Information Act. When people are pissed off and tired of dealing with bullshit from the government, they put their foot down, they step forward, and they go, look, you're going to be accountable. We put you in office. We pay your damn bills. We don't ask for a lot of stuff, but we expect you to take care of us and to tell us the damn truth and show accountability. And they don't do that. And they get away with it. Why? Well, because we put them in power and then we expect them to do what they're supposed to do. The main point is we have American men and women out there dying daily. I have friends that I've lost that I'll never see again that went over and thought they were doing the right thing for their country, which they were. but they will never see what it is that they were really fighting for. If this is all a facade, and if it's all fake, what are we sending our men and women to die for? This is the reason why I got into it. Not the whole, well, let's find out if we can find another pin to stick in the government. It's not about that for me. For me, it's about, why are we putting American lives at risk daily if it was all crap? And the thing is we jumped into a war so quickly that we didn't have time to do the evidence. We didn't have time to really make a good, solid case. And the people were so pissed off and outraged at the time, and I was too. I'm just as guilty as everybody else. But at the time, I was so pissed off, I was like, let's go over there and kick their ass. Why not? Kill them all, let God sort them out. And that's fine and dandy. But we're not talking about a war that's lasted 2 years. We're talking about, we're still in the conflict now. And that's a big, important thing to look at. To me, I don't care what some person on a committee is telling me. And I'm referring to the 9/11 committee, the commission that was put in place to try to do some kind of research. I think that the research the whole situation kind of happened ass backwards. I think there should have been a commission first. Then there should have been a decision to go to war, and there should have been a plotted out plan to go to war. When they take that oath, when they become, an official U.S. military personnel, they take the oath to defend the Constitution and defend the United States from foreign and domestic threats. For them going over there when we don't know what the threat was. What was the threat? Was it really Al-Qaeda? Was it really bin Laden? Was it really all these people? And then to do unservice of killing bin Laden and not putting his sorry ass on every picture of his sorry ass on every newspaper, every website. Why not? Let me tell you something. It would probably do a lot of people that have been out there that have lost their lives a little bit of justice to show the picture that they were out there trying to find that guy. It would do them justice. But it didn't happen. We have a burial at sea. We have no video. We have nothing. We have a picture of Obama staring at a supposed screen. For all we know, they could have set the whole freaking picture up. I don't know. That's neither here nor there. But, it doesn't make sense to me that, you would spend so many countless of millions and trillions of dollars trying to find this guy, the lives that will never be repaid no matter how much money you have, to go find a guy and kill him and then not show his picture. Guess what they used to do in the Wild Wild West, man? When they would kill somebody who was a wanted person, they took a picture of him. So everybody knew, hey, look, this Joe Blow is dead. He's gone. He ain't going to show up again. And that person who shot him, he's going to stand right there next to him. They should have put all those seals right next to him and taken their picture, and they could have been just a smile. But it didn't happen. And for that, I wonder. And there's a lot more that I can talk about. Now, I would like to do another video. I don't know if I'd get the response on it that I'd like, but I would love it if you would click a like or dislike. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I'd really appreciate that also. And just give me some feedback. So tell me what you think about this video. If you agree, that's wonderful. I really, really appreciate it. If you disagree, that's understandable. And like I said, if you don't believe in something, you'll fall for anything. So at least if you don't agree with me, then you don't believe, in what I believe, and that's perfectly fine. So don't want to step on any toes with this. But I do want to reaffirm that, it is important that you do look at all the facts and try to come to your own conclusion. So thanks for watching. I really appreciate your time, and hopefully we'll see you next time.